Howdy, I'm Melissa Rowell, and I'm currently a director and the board president of the North Harris County Regional Water Authority, and I represent District 3. And I wanted to get some information out to everyone, not just to my constituents, but anyone who lives inside the North Harris County Regional Water Authority boundaries, which is this whole area you see here, or anyone who lives in Harris County, or just anyone who pays a water bill around here. For those who don't know, the mission of the North Harris County Regional Water Authority and the West Harris County Regional Water Authority, for those on the other side of 290, is to convert our area to surface water and get off groundwater to mitigate subsidence and meet the mandates of the Harris-Galveston Subsidence District while keeping water costs as low as possible. I ran for this position because my neighbors' water bills were creeping up, and I wanted to know what was really causing subsidence, and I wanted to know why we were the ones being forced to pay for this conversion. I never wanted to get off clean groundwater, and my mud's about to convert in January. Since being elected 3 years ago, our board has voted to lower water rates 3 different times. Today, groundwater is $2.60 per 1,000 gallons, and surface water is $3.05 per 1,000 gallons. Originally, the conversion project was going to cost roughly $1 billion, give or take, including our 35% share of the Northeast Water Purification Plant expansion. Now, the projected cost to finish and meet the conversion mandates is close to, get ready, $10 billion. And all of it is being paid by you and me, and not through a tax that you can deduct, but through mandatory fees on your water bill. Because the North Harris County Regional Water Authority is not a taxing authority, they heavily utilize funding from the Texas Water Development Board to finance massive water infrastructure projects. So there are 5 things I want you to know, and a couple of them may make your blood boil. Okay? So let's get ready. My first point is this. It's about the new rate study we just had. The board was presented with a rate study at our December meeting. It confirmed what many of us have been fearing, which is fees are projected to climb as high as $12 per 1,000 gallons over the next 9 years. So here is, there's a chart right there. You can see that? You can see it climbing. So by 2035, the rates are supposed to be $12 per 1,000 gallons. So family of 4 maybe uses 15,000 gallons. That doesn't include water in your yard. Just do the math. That's a lot of money. So just like toll roads, these fees will never disappear because there will always be operations, maintenance, and debt on top of more debt. So my second point I want to make is these fees are mandatory with no disclosure requirements. Nope, we're exempt. Or I should say the Water Authority. These fees are mandatory. When you buy or sell a home, there is a notice to purchaser is what it's called, that must be signed by both sellers and buyers per Chapter 49 of the Water Code. It discloses tax rates, bonding authority, and all kinds of financial obligations. So, there we go. That's one right there, okay? But the North Harris County Regional Water Authority's enabling legislation specifically exempts us from having to disclose our mandatory fees to home buyers. Can you believe that? So let me repeat that. All your other taxes and HOA fees must be disclosed, but the North Harris County Regional Water Authority fees are exempt. Is that fair to homeowners? I don't think so. So whether or not it's technically legal, I think most homeowners would agree that exempting the North Harris County Regional Water Authority from disclosure is simply not ethical. It is a consumer rights violation in spirit, and it violates the most basic principle of transparency. If a private business hid a mandatory fee like this, the Attorney General would call it a deceptive trade practice. Homeowners or home buyers deserve to know every mandatory cost attached to their home before they buy it. Just like every other fee in the water code, transparency should not be optional. Okay, my third point I want to make. Growth versus subsidence. You decide. Well, water is precious, and I think we can all agree on that. I firmly believe it. But I also hear people in the water and engineering world talk constantly about future growth and how we need surface water to support development. So here's the question. How much of this massive conversion is truly about subsidence, and how much is about making room for growth and development? Because the two motivations are not the same. Okay, fourth point. This is going to be a little bit long, my fourth and fifth points. It's about Brownwood, Jersey Village, and some truth about subsidence, okay? So this brings me to subsidence. If you listen to the Subsidence District staff or many people in the water world, they will always begin with the same two examples, Brownwood and Jersey Village. They're going to talk about those too. I'm going to explain to you how they are not analogous to each other. Brownwood is a completely different animal. It sat 10 feet approximately above sea level on a small peninsula by the ship channel, and it sank because refineries, including Humble Oil, pumped too much oil and water. So several hurricanes hit, including Hurricane Carla, but Hurricane Alicia finished it off. Brownwood has nothing to do with Northwest Houston. Has nothing to do with Northwest Houston, okay? And then they say Jersey Village has sunk 4 to 8 feet. I've spent the last 3 years digging into this data. And based on the GPS records, the aquifer data, and the pumping history, the area west of Jersey Village, which is, we're talking right here, okay? The area west of Jersey Village may have subsided 2, maybe 3 feet over the last century, okay? I noted this on the map that at Highway 6 and 290, it's about 125 feet right here. It's about 125 feet above sea level, so way different than Brownwood. And if you can see Tomball, they're at like 180 plus feet above sea level. So way different areas of town, right? Yeah, and we talked a lot about Tomball at our last meeting, and them needing to convert. And they sit way above sea level there. So the real question is, what caused the subsidence due to overpumping from the 80s to the early 2000s? And here's the answer nobody seems to want to talk about. The city of Houston caused it. In the early 80s, the city drilled 8 deep wells called Jersey Village Well Field of 8. That is not really in Jersey Village and not owned by Jersey Village. And these are City of Houston wells. So let me show you where they are on the map. They are, can you see that? Yeah. They're right there, okay? Jersey Village is right there, and they're on the other side. There's more than 8 dots right here, but there's 8 of them right there. It's all along, it's on 529, between 290 and Highway 6, okay? So they're the City of Houston wells, but they're called Jersey Village Field of 8. Okay, well, the Subsidence District, let me tell you one more thing. They have a GPS monitoring station, P001, right at Highway 6 and 290 behind the Tesla dealership. And the readings for the last few years have shown 0 subsidence. Let me show you where that is. That's right here. Okay, so look how close that is to this field of 8. There's a lot of wells right there. But I'll tell you more about that in a second. So yeah, that's registered zero subsidence in the last few years. So in the late 80s, 90s, and early 2000s, the city pumped hundreds of millions of gallons per year per well, over and over and over. So ask yourself, who pulled the water out of the ground? Who caused the drawdown? Who caused the sinking? It wasn't the residents of Jersey Village or District 3, which is my district, or any of the ratepayers in the North Harris County Regional Water Authority boundary. It was the city of Houston. And that leads to a very simple fairness principle. Those who did the heavy pumping should shoulder more of the cost than those who didn't. Wouldn't you say? I live in a neighborhood with a lot of original homeowners. It's an older neighborhood. Right now, my 75-year-old neighbors who did not create this problem are being forced to pay for $10 billion conversion. How is that remotely fair? And yes, this is where my farming analogy fits perfectly. So listen up. The city of Houston pumped our aquifer down for decades. They depleted it. Then they cut way back on pumping, though records show the 8 wells are still active. And now we have to buy surface water from the city. So that's like someone harvesting my crops year after year until the soil is ruined, and then turning around and selling me vegetables because nothing will grow anymore. Okay? And here's a critical point. The Harris-Galveston Subsidence District never acknowledges subsidence is not occurring uniformly across the region. And in many areas, the measured rates do not remotely match the financial burden that the subsidence district is imposing. So, none of that sounds fair, does it? My 5th point I want to make. And, okay, we're going to get to that. We are 5 years behind schedule. We are more than 5 years behind schedule, and the mandates haven't budged. So finally, the North Harris County Regional Water Authority is supposed to be 60% converted by 2025. So we're at about 32% converted right now. So you do the math. We won't hit 60% until after 2030. So, where is that on here? Yeah, there's a little chart right there. So why? Because we are over 5 years behind for the reasons completely outside of our control. Let's see. COVID shutdown halted progress. Supply chain collapse caused material shortages and cost spikes. Easement acquisitions that once took months now take more than 2 years to due to complex regulations, legal hurdles, and agency processes, including with TWDB. And the City of Houston's own plant expansion delays compounded setbacks across the entire region. And let's be honest about something no one at the Subsidence District likes to say out loud. Today's conversion schedule is no longer about conversion. It's about funding growth. The deadlines, penalties, and mandates were never designed around affordability. They shift the cost of massive regional expansion onto the homeowners who are already dealing with high taxes, rising insurance, inflation, and utility bills. But the Subsidence District, which is not funded by the state, by the way, has been unwilling to revise its timeline. Hopefully that changes soon. We first approached this nearly 3 years ago. So right now we have an appointed board. That's right, the Subsidence District Board, 19-member board is appointed. They're imposing an unfunded mandate on an elected board and forcing us to meet requirements that are at this point unattainable. That's not good policy, and it certainly isn't fair to the ratepayers who have no vote in the matter. The only way to avoid a $12 per 1,000-gallon disincentive fee, that's what their charges right now. Look on their website, $12 for a disincentive fee, is to use conversion credits. And if that's not enough, they want us to buy more credits. And that's not a sustainable plan. So one solution that I have is to revise our 2014 groundwater reduction plan and secure an additional 5 to 10 years. So that would take the pressure off the schedule and save ratepayers money. All right. Did I show you everything? I think so. So here's my call to action. If what I've shared frustrates you, good, it should. We need your voice, we need your support, and we need legislative help. We need you to speak up. Leave comments to the North Harris County Regional Water Authority Board on our website. Contact your state representative. Attend our meetings. The first Monday of every month at 6 p.m. is when we meet, and then you can speak in the public comments at the very beginning for 3 minutes. You don't even have to stay for the whole rest of the meeting if you don't want. Attend Commissioner's Court and bring this up there because the City of Houston has 5 appointees to the Subsidence District Board, and they are the ones that control the mandates. So, yep, bring it up with them. Commissioner's Court. Ask the news media to investigate. Attend the Subsidence District Board meetings, which are at 10 a.m. the second Wednesday of each month. And also you can email me directly at melissa@melissarao.com. So whether you and I agree perfectly on the subsidence numbers or not, I think we can agree on one thing. Homeowners, the people least responsible for this problem, should not be the ones carrying the heaviest burden for a $10 billion project. You agree? I hope to hear from you. Come to some of these meetings. Make your voice be heard. Make a lot of noise. We need your help. We need your support. And thank you. Reach out to me if you have any questions. Leave your comments. Thank you very much.